I'm Matt. I'm here today with prospective parliamentary candidate for the Liberal Democrats, George Cunningham, and we're going to be talking about Europe. So, George, tell me, how important is Europe to the UK as a whole, and Thanet in particular? Is it true that actually it's more of a burden, or is it actually more of a benefit?
Well, the point is really this: we're living in a new world now. I'm working myself at the European Union, and I deal with our relationship with China, okay, the big power that's coming on the stage. And these new emerging economies are very much powerhouses. They're driving forward, and we have to be in a larger unit as the UK to survive that competition and to thrive within that competition. And the UK was the initiator of the single market and needs to keep driving the single market forward, because if the UK was to leave the European Union, we cannot assume that the European Union will continue to be the same way orientated. So we can say, for instance, okay, the UK would leave. You'd have a situation in which the UK has therefore no influence on decision taking, and then you may have countries more in preponderance as a consequence in the European Union that may take the European Union in a different direction to the one that UK would like, and that would be detrimental potentially to UK trade. So it's not a matter of saying it's going to stay the same, we just pop out of it. UK is having a major influence in this respect in Europe, and by removing it, basically Europe may go in a different way to what the UK wants. The UK should really stay in for that purpose, and that is why it's very important for the UK to maintain its influence and be within. In terms of jobs and growth, the European Union is very important. You've heard the figure, I think, bandied around. Some study had said that 3 million jobs it's not so much dependent upon us being in the European Union, but are related to European Union work. That means, but for sure it means that if the UK was to leave, the UK already is not part of the Eurozone, so therefore it is a little bit more of a risk for those that want to produce things for Europe to be outside the Eurozone because of currency fluctuation issues. Ireland has, by the way, joined the Eurozone, is English speaking, and has a lot of companies in it that are trading. Sometimes people say, thank God UK didn't join the Euro. But I wonder to what degree jobs have gone to Ireland. In the southeast, for instance, it's been calculated recently that something like 400,000 jobs are related to work with the European Union. So for the southeast, of course, being the closest point to the European Union, it's particularly important that we should be supporting membership of the European Union.
Obviously, certain people have been bandying around that being a member of Europe has caused people from Europe to come in and eat up all the precious jobs that we don't have in this area anyway. But would you say it was fair that we've lost out in terms of having to compete with more workers, or is it that actually we've sent more workers into Europe than we've actually had to come to us?
Now let's be fair about that. I myself, for instance, are working on the continent. We're all in Europe, yeah. But I'm on the continent. I'm working on the continent. So I'm one of the Brits that are outside, and something like 2 million Brits, which is something like 3% of all Brits. Are living in the European Union. So that's quite a significant bunch of people. And then there is the sort of traffic in return, of course, people coming in this way as well. Britain has always been open. And we've had, as you well know, at the end of Empire, we had this enormous influx that's been going on of Commonwealth people who have been welcomed and who are integrated largely into British society. And it seems to be very odd that suddenly, when we continue with influxes of people that we have been welcoming for many, many years, there's suddenly some kind of prejudice being built up. I will tell you something, Matt. I'm of Polish origin. My father came after the Second World War with the Second Army Corps from Italy, having fought the Germans as a Pole. And he changed the name, and we switched to George Cunningham being the name. But you would not believe that I'm Polish, because I act and I'm totally British, and this is what integration is all about. And that's what we should be aiming for everybody, is that everybody becomes very much a Brit when we have integration. Anyway, to cut a long story short, We need to have immigrant labour, and we've always needed it. Legal immigration is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. I think that you've got situations where there are difficulties being faced by local people. Those local people who want to work should be given all the opportunities to be trained to work. You know, there's something like several 100,000 ICT jobs that are vacant because we don't have enough people trained in ICT. Why the hell are we not doing more on that, in that respect, to get people into ICT? A lot of people are into ICT already. There are jobs out there. Then there's other things which are shortages. Nurses. In the papers today we talked about shortages of nurses. These are typical things that you would have Commonwealth citizens come in to do, as well as European Union citizens. So I didn't see a problem. We've welcomed Commonwealth, we welcome European Union. The majority of the vast majority of people coming to work, they have jobs to do. There was a calculation of the Polish influx, and it said that for every £4 that the Poles actually put in through taxes into the UK, they took out £3. In other words, there's a net benefit to the treasury of that immigration that has come in. Don't forget that half the Poles that came went back to Poland because of the recession, because Poland has thrived thanks to being a member of the European Union, and the economy is the only economy in the whole of the European Union that has grown consistently through the financial crisis without a single drop in the economy. These are all success stories, and the more we actually integrate in Europe, and particularly integrate the new countries, what we call new countries that came in 2004, we still call them new countries, the ones in the east, the more they will need our products and services. And that, by the way, they're all learning English anyway. That helps us as well. So I think that there are huge benefits in continuing with the European Union, but we must absolutely, as Brits, play a positive role so that our views are heard, respected, and we play a full role. Because I think, unfortunately, there have been moments in which we have lost out by being too difficult. There's a lot of big talk about the European arrest warrant, which was actually an initiative by a Lib Dem MEP. This has brought about a Europe-wide cooperation in fighting crime. So rather than the open borders creating more crime, actually open borders is leading to more cooperation across, with Europol particularly in the lead as well. And a large number, you can look at the statistics, a large number of arrests have been made, and as a consequence, and criminals, British criminals that have fled abroad have been brought to justice. And so I think actually that is one of the highlights really, and one of the many things that is not talked about in this campaign, but I think it's a real benefit in terms of membership.